Welcome back to Buyos Network. My people, I don't come again with another trending matter with the grant. Now, concerning what Oshimhole, the advice what Oshimhole give the governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, Obaseki is now out. He don't come to react to that statement. He said, make them bring her on, saying they wait with them with all the evidence. Guys, more than watch. As in, this is really going to be tough because Obaseki, just as we know, people don't they talk say Obaseki is not stupid. So Obaseki is a very intelligent guy. Say no, say all this matter go later come up. Say every information he get am. So as they probe am, now say go they affect Oshiomhole. This na big showdown. So guys, make I leave am on a watch.
The conversation out there is that the investigation, the probe, whatever they are planning, will start from 2008.
Well,
That was when Governor Obaseki started serving Edo.
All the records from 2016 they secure. I don't get a problem with that. Every couple we spend, I will show you how we spend.
Okay, you all just secured.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I can explain everything, but I also have the records from 2008, and many of them cannot be explained.
Problem.
Oshiomhole was never an activist. You can go and check this out anyway. And I will send you after the show a press conference we did in 1992 or so, where Oshiomhole and a guy named Pascal Bafia, he was the former NLC president, had a deal with Babangida to increase fuel price and supported it.
In 1992?
Yes, I did a press conference where we named him as the enemy of students because of what he did when they first started this whole fuel increase. Oshiomhole was part of it. Oshiomhole was never part of the pro-democracy movement. He was one of the few labor leaders during Abacha's time who was living in Abuja when all the activists had run away from this country. And I've said this several times. What Oshiomhole was doing at the period you are describing is what we call organized outrage. You go and meet Obasanjo, Baba, increase the fuel price, we will fight small. You will come put them back to the place where it's supposed to be. You are happy, I'm happy. Wow. That was what Oshiomhole was doing. And I've said this openly, but since you have greater reach, he can challenge me that I said, and I'll send you a copy of the press release and press conference, not even press.
The conference itself.
We sat at the press conference, invited the press, because that's how we communicated during our days. We did a lot of world press conferences, and we went after them. In fact, when Abiola's election was annulled, part of the places the students invaded was the NLC secretariat at Yaba, because they were in bed with the military, Pascal Bafia and Oshiomhole. They were the labor leader. He didn't start today with this Oshiomhole you are saying. He has been doing labor leadership for a long, long time. So they were the part of the labor movement that sold out. Kokori, who was in Pengassan, and
Frank Kokori.
Yes, they were the original people in labor who really shut down the country, and they were arrested and kept in detention. Look, I think Kokori was released after Abacha died. Wow. Ask why nobody arrested and detained Oshiomhole. Even small me at that time, I was going in and out of detention, including by DSS. If they detained him, it must have been an arranged detention.
All the records from 2016 they secure. I don't get a problem with that. Every couple we spend, I will show you how we spend.
Okay, you all just secured.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I can explain everything, but I also have the records from 2008, and many of them cannot be explained.
Everyone could attest that I have stayed away from issues of Edo State in recent times. It has become very chaotic, and seemingly I just left it and focused on the other issues. But I couldn't ignore. I tried my best to ignore the Oshiomhole AP saga. I just left it because I don't know why a lot of leaders are not just tone deaf. They have also become dumb when issues about citizens come to bear. Oshiomhole has been seated as a former comrade and who has been in the National Assembly for a while. He's heard a lot of Nigerians complain of the ill treatment and unprofessionalism of Nigerian airlines, and they've kept quiet largely. And even if you don't need to be in the committee on aviation to be able to call your friends, lobby, sort of find resolutions. But as it got to you now, you find these solutions. It means that we are continually elected people who do not have the interests of the people at heart. I don't need to be in your constituency first for you to be able to look at how well to ameliorate my plight and making my journey around Nigeria easy. It should be the goal, unfortunately. Right. So then the issue of Right Honorable Marcos, the former Speaker for Edo State House of Assembly and who is now House of Rep member, I saw all of the issues with him and with the state government and all of that. And that has led me to concluding that Governor Modu Bewelu, His Excellency, is not by any way trying to lose the award of the most ignorant and arrogant governor in Nigeria. And it's not because I like Marcus. I think Marcus is quite too young for him to be this dumb, respectfully, in the National Assembly. No matter what you are doing for your constituency, sir, I expected that you should also put up some advocacy for the Nigerian youth. You are a young person. Unfortunately, quota system, federal character, a lot of tribal politics allow a lot of you get advantages and privileges to quality places and privileged platforms. Would have expected that you also begin to look out for the general good of young people. But you cannot be this young, Marcus, and keep quiet on issues that concern to young people. You've kept mute, and right now your news is everywhere. They want to demolish your house. Everybody are saying, oh, you are not talking about it. We should not allow this to happen. And then I ask, what has Marcus done to look beyond his constituency to say what bees, what interest, what passion, what has he said to help the larger majority of Nigerian youth to be able to find succor or find some level of solace in all of these sinking ship? But again, they focus on their own biddings and they want to have their own life. And then these privileges are not available for people like Reverend Olu Martins and a couple of other young guys, again, particularly from Edo State, that has contributed immensely, that their voices and hands have been seen visibly in societal renaissance, on growth and development, values, somehow. But because, again, our politics do not allow people like that to get privileges on platforms or at platforms that they could be able to use their voice, people like Marcus get there. So Marcus should take up the mantle and be responsible. However, despite that, it is not to allow that the current crop of ignorant and arrogant sycophants that are surrounding Governor Bewelu should tell him that one of the greatest sins anybody can commit against me is that I can accept that you are ignorant, I can accept that you are arrogant, but to have a marriage of both, I detest it at all costs. And Governor Bewelu is not only ignorant, is ultimately arrogant. And you want to demolish a guy, sir. So I've gone to do research. I've read the anti-kidnapping law, the amended one. I've read the anti-cultism law that the House of Assembly passed into law in January. And I continue to look at what exactly is the governor trying to do. Because in that law, you've criminalized cultism, whatever name or guise that it is being called. You also criminalize people that sponsor traditional ruler, pastors, civil servants, public office holders, and you want to criminalize even private property owners. So say if you have a property that they use for cultism and kidnapping activities, it will be demolished. However, two very important things that's why I am pained and nobody is telling Bewelu to open his eyes, read more, and stop all of this. Beyond all of these two musketeers that are going out shouting like Hepman, like bulldogs that should be tamed, the rest of the guys that carry paper and barrel, what do they know? Of course, I've been told that if you speak Esan, you have a space in government. As long as, no matter how smart you are, as long as you are not from Esan, don't come close. No matter how dull you are, as long as you are from Esan, then you have a chance in the government. Respectfully, and that's respectfully. But of course, with what is happening around, I cannot even deny the fact that the man has surrounded himself with tribal people, and he particularly look out for people that do not have sense to be able to walk around him. Because I will ask you, you criminalized cultism in the state, and then you said that if you are found wanting as a cultist, you will be dealt with. There are prison terms up to about 21 years. But in the criminalization of the property, to say a property that is being used for cult-related activities, the property can be seized, can be taken as proceeds of crime, or can be demolished. All of these are supposed to be through a litigation, a legal process. Suddenly, we'll see that Governor Bewelu has now aggregated and abrogated and abrogated all powers of being executive, legislature, and judiciary. Same with his elder brother and father Tinubu in the central government. That none of this process, you say there's a public statement issued, and then you said that somebody had court-related activities in his house, and suddenly you are marking it for demolition. Whereas it is very clear that it's upon conviction. That's what the law says. Same thing that happened the last time when you went to demolish a house, and you said the house had it was reported that That one I can never forget. The person that was arrested has not been investigated, was still in Lagos. Bevolo led the squad to go and demolish that house. Since we told him to stop that rubbish, I'm sure he stopped it now because he's supposed to go to court. The law that you signed, I don't know if you signed or you are aware, is that upon conviction, same thing with this anti-courtism law. So who has convicted him? And then if you say the man, if there is no undertone to this particular push that you are doing now, why do you want to demolish a person's property as the forgetting the initial sections of the particular law that says that whoever is involved in court-related activities, I would have expected you to also be prosecuting the honorable member for being a courtist. So it should go hand in hand, right? It should go side by side, because you cannot say the man had court-related activities in his house and then you want to demolish his property and then you're ignoring him. So is it that you know that he's not a courtist, or what is happening? Of course, politics is playing here, and then when you talk, people say that Obaseki demolished Kabaka's. Neither Obaseki nor Kabaka gave me any benefit or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that all of this paid off politicalization. It just goes to show that when a government did not come to power with the full understanding of what to do, they look for the most minute, the most destructive thing to focus on, to use to fund their ego, to say they are working. There's so much I need to do. I've made comments here commending your effort in restoring peace and giving us a safer Edo with the anti-courtism push. But these politics that you are playing around it now, because this is not the first, not the second, not the third of houses that are being marked, and then suddenly begin to hear that they are having conversations. What was all that for? Please focus. I know that your party as a whole is built around propaganda, but I expected you to know that the times that we are in is a very delicate time and you should focus. Again, you need to prove to me that you're not the most ignorant and arrogant governor in Nigeria at the moment, because as it stands just now, you are. Have a blessed day. Catch you another time. Bye for now.